just for that fancy costume.
What about all that scuba diving equipment he bought last month?
It's a real shame. It's plenty that could use that money.
Like you, for instance?
That's right.
Well, might find somebody rich to marry like he did. From failure to fortune. One easy lesson.
Have to put up with someone the likes of her? Not in your life, Ralph. As much of a fool as he is, I pity him for what he had to put up with the last 10 years of being married to her. Her sick all the time and having to stay in bed most of the day. Oh, that bell. Well, I guess I better go in. I'm coming, Miss Scarlet. Madam Ray? Madam Ray? Of course, Madam Ray. Been waiting for my coffee and toast for half an hour. The cook was not what? He was busy. Busy? 2 people to cook for. And he is busy. It seems that way, madam. Oh, it does it? Well, if Mr. Burned Toast Tony spent less time in his room handicapping horses, he might be less busy. Cold. Ice. I brought it right up. You are a liar. So why don't you pack your things and board a bus back to, wherever it is that you came from? You're fired. Oh, and, why don't you take that pizza parlor cowboy of a cook with you? But, madam... Don't but madam me. You have been standing down there half the morning gawking at my husband. Don't you think that I don't know what you're up to? Dearie. Get out of here! This very moment! I can't stand the sight of your pathetic face another second. Arnold! Arnold! I know you're out there!
Oh, I was just coming, Elizabeth.
Been a bit out of sorts this morning, sir.
I gather. 2:26, 27, 8, 9, 2 minutes, 30. Out you come now. Off. Yep. Coffee, hot, salt, pepper. Alrighty. Oh, milk. We got the milk. There we go. Good cow's milk.
Oh, put it down. Put it down. You certainly took your time, Arnold. I must say, you're no improvement over that thing I fired. If this new woman you employ doesn't do better, one day I'll probably die from simple lack of care.
It's almost 9 now. Our bus will be here at 10. Perhaps I should go.
Seem awfully anxious?
No. I just don't want Miss Greco to feel lost. I could send Ralph if you want me to stay with you.
Now go ahead. Go ahead. I'm rather anxious to meet Miss Greco myself. She's probably some frittery redhead. with 10 thumbs and a bad permanent?
I doubt that, Elizabeth. The employment agency recommended her very highly, and you read her references.
Stop yammering. Go.
Hello. I'm Arnold Bourdon, and I suppose you're Miss Greco. Sorry I'm late. I hope you'll be happy here. You know, my wife needed some female attention for some time. Someone who can take care of her needs better than I. You understand about her ailment, I trust. You see, it's left her very weak and dependent.
Yes, it was explained to me. I've done practical nursing before, but I understand that your wife also needs a companion.
Now, you might say that. She requires all sorts of attentions in addition to her medical care. You know how women are. I certainly hope that you'll like us, Miss Greco.
I'm sure I will, sir. Well, where'd you get her from? Las Vegas?
But nothing of the sort. You chose Miss Greco yourself from 3 resumes supplied by the employment office. I have never seen this woman before in my life.
But you admit she's pretty.
Perhaps. But frankly, Elizabeth, I didn't notice. Who could tell what she looks like beneath that hat? Really.
Very well, we'll let her stay. It should be interesting observing you two. But make no mistakes, Arnold. I'll be watching.
Really, you are talking nonsense.
Nonsense indeed. I know that look, Arnold Bourdon. It's the same silly expression you had on your face the night we first met at the Crestwood Cotillion.
Elizabeth, please.
But go on. Tell Miss Greco she's hired. Never mind. I'll tell her myself. Yes, Mrs. Bourdon. I want to be wheeled outside this morning. I'd like your help. Then we should see about Mr. Bourdon's lunch. Our former cook had a tendency to fry everything, and Arnold has a delicate stomach. You see, I'm not the only one that needs attention. My husband deserves some, too.
Well, looks like you're hired.
Yes.
May I take your coat? Here you are. Wow.
Mr. Bourdon, if you're going into town, I wonder if you'd be good enough to pick up a few things for me.
Arnold. Please, call me Arnold.
Of course. Arnold.
It's better. Listen, I've got a good idea. Why don't you come into town with me?
Do you suppose it would be all right with Mrs. Bourdon?
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, you are you? Brush my hair. Yes, Mrs. Bourdon. Be careful. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't talking about my hair. I was talking about my husband. He thinks he's cute. Sometimes he even thinks he's clever. Do you think he's cute? I've never really thought of him that way. Haven't you? Then how come you're blushing? Would you like some hot chocolate?
Yes, I would. Thank you.
I love you too. But it's hopeless, isn't it?
Well, it all depends on what you mean by hopeless.
Well, I mean marriage, of course.
Oh.
Isn't that what you meant?
Well, ordinarily it would be, but as you know, I'm well married.
There are divorce courts.
There are poorhouses, too.
Well, then, that's all there is to it, I suppose.
No, I wouldn't say that, no.
What else can there be? I won't be a backstreet wife, Arnold.
That's a dreadful romance novel phrase. I prefer lover.
And I prefer a husband.
What do you know about pentotheliomane?
That medicine I give her every night?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I know that it's a strong sedative. She's often so uncomfortable at night. It helps her to sleep.
You know about the proper dosage and all that?
I know that it's dangerous. That an overdose could affect the brain. Possibly cause hemorrhaging. Even death.
Naturally, you wouldn't make any mistakes about overdosing.
Of course not.
That would be foolish.
Yes, it would. So easily detectable.
However, an overdose wouldn't be detected if administered a bit at a time. That is, 1 extra cc per day would have the same effect in the long run, right?
Yes, I believe that's true.
She would become weaker every day.
Nasty headaches. That's sure to be a symptom.
Yes, but not necessarily ascribable to the drug. The difference in the bottle would be hardly discernible. Tell me, how long do you think it would take before she...
I'm not really sure.
Take a guess.
Perhaps 2 months.
Why, that would be June.
Mr. Boudreaux! Mr. Boudreaux, it's your wife. Call Dr. Ivy.
You know, Arnold, frankly, I'm not sure that I know exactly what caused Elizabeth's trouble.
I see.
You see, these attacks you've been having, they're not usual in such cases. And yet, I can't seem to locate the reason. Well, of course, she's extremely weak. That's to be expected. But her blood pressure is higher than it should be.
Well, tell me, Doctor, is there anything that you can do for her?
Well, I've told her to keep to her bed for a week. Perhaps she's overtired herself. But also, I'm not happy about her mental condition. She seems to have some strange notions about, about Miss Greco.
Really? What sort of notions?
Considering the romantic pair that you and Elizabeth made, those years before she fell ill, don't you think she might be just a little jealous?
Jealous? Oh, Miss Greco is absolutely loyal. Oh, I'm sure that if you talked to Elizabeth, she'd admit the same thing. Frankly, Doctor, I really don't know how we got along without her before.
Oh, I know that. But it's something to be aware of anyway, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, if you should need me before my next regular visit, just don't hesitate to call.
Thank you, Doctor.
This is Elizabeth Boudreaux. Let me speak to Dr. Ivy, please. I don't care if he's treating the governor himself. You tell him if he's not here in 15 minutes with some workable idea to improve the state of my health, he's fired. Understand?
Arnold, I'm glad I caught you alone. Nerves. That woman is a bundle of nerves. You're going to have to watch her very carefully. Now, if her condition is no better by the end of the week, I think we ought to have her in the hospital for some tests.
But you can't. Well, I mean, Elizabeth would never consent to it.
She'll have to. I can't answer for the consequences if she doesn't.
We must decide quickly. If she enters the hospital, some probing clinical eye might detect the overdose that's accumulated in her system.
Oh, Arnold.
We could do this two ways. Either we ease up on the amount we give her.
I've thought of it.
Or we finish the job. Now.
Please. Don't let me interrupt your little cocoa orgy, Arnold. Go on. Get right on with it.
Elizabeth, you shouldn't have come down here.
I couldn't find my veil. That fool doctor put my veil somewhere. I had to walk down here. But I'm glad I did. I wouldn't have missed this for the world. This is a pretty picture.
Mrs. Boudreaux, you mustn't think...
You be quiet. I've had enough of you. You understand that, Arnold? Quite enough.
Elizabeth, you're mistaken. You know...
I know you, Arnold. And this is one woman you will never lean on again. I want her out of here tomorrow.
Mrs. Boudreaux, I beg of you.
It won't do you any good because you're fired, Miss Greco. If Arnold was my employee, I'd fire him too. But he isn't. He's my husband. You understand? My husband. Now, you come over here and help me. You can carry me upstairs. And tomorrow, you'll phone that agency. And we'll get a substitute for Miss Greco, only this time I will interview myself.
Yes, Elizabeth.
Poor Arnold. There's always been a woman to help you, hasn't there? Now that she's gone, you just have to depend on me, your poor invalid wife. Have you done what I told you? Did you call the employment agency?
Oh, yes. You'll have 3 candidates to choose from this afternoon. They've been instructed to arrive at alternate hours beginning at 2.
Good.
Well, I think I'll go to a movie if you don't need me.
Oh, go ahead. Be sure to see a good, passionate movie. Full of passion and pretty girls. But don't forget to hurry home. I'll be waiting, Arnold.
see you've hired someone.
That's right. It's all settled. I found the perfect woman.
I'm very glad, Elizabeth. Did they all show up on time?
First two were impossible. They were so young. You know how you are around young women, Arnold. But I'm sure that you'll find the one that I hired most attractive. She's in the kitchen now. Why don't you go down? Look her over.
You seem to find it amusing, don't you?
Amusing? Why should I? Go down. I think you'll like her a great deal. Perhaps even more than you liked Miss Greco.
Oh, hi. Does she want me? I was just making some coffee.
Your new dream girl.
She gets her medicine at 9 o'clock. You won't forget it?
No, of course not. Are you all right? You don't look well at all.
You understand about the dosage.
Yes, I understand. 1 cc above normal.
That's right. Shouldn't take long to finish her off now. God knows what's kept her going this long.
Don't worry, my dear. Haven't I always taken care of you?
I certainly do appreciate this, Mother.